Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you for stopping by the channel again today. My name is Robin and we're going to talk about a current trending topic in the beauty community. I did just watch Kelly Gooch's video on this topic, so I do agree with her sentiments and opinions about the topic. If you have not seen her video in particular, I will go ahead and leave that linked below, because honestly I don't know when this video is going up. So I totally forgot what I was doing, so I've already put on my moisturizer and my face primer. But today I am going to be talking about the dyeing beauty community, plus also putting on my makeup. So if you want to stay tuned to see my opinions on that and also do a little bit of makeup, then just go ahead and keep watching. So I am going to start with my concealer, and if you've been watching beauty videos recently or been in the beauty community recently, there's a lot of talk even from bigger content creators who have just been mentioning the obvious changes and things going on with beauty with the beauty community, plus just makeup videos in general. And I guess in general, the basic consensus is that the beauty community is dying. So that's like the hot take. That's the hot topic right now. And so that's what we are going to discuss today. And overall, do I feel like the beauty community is dying? And my quick and short answer to that is no. And the reason being is because makeup itself has been around forever. And I should have put this hair behind my ear. And makeup will continue to be around forever. So obviously the beauty community cannot die. However, I do agree there has been a lot of changes within the beauty community, and it changes with beauty content and just the consumption of beauty in general, and makeup as a whole. So like Kelly, actually, I started watching YouTube like a decade ago or more, back when the YouTube beauty community first came on the scene, like 2007, 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. And I watched the OG makeup YouTubers, like she said she did as well. And again, echoing what she was saying, is that back then the makeup community, the beauty community was different. The types of content that was created at that time was different than what you're getting now. It was more tutorial based, more teaching based. The videos were more shorter and more professional, if you will, I guess. And so it's just basically there to show people how to do makeup, what makeup products, how makeup products worked, what type of makeup products to use, and that kind of thing. Because like Kelly said, I hope I don't say that every 2 seconds in this video, but I may. Like she said, back then there wasn't really anywhere to turn for like makeup advice other than maybe your friends and family, who also didn't have any type of real makeup advice other than trial and error, and maybe what they read out of a magazine or seen on a TV show. Maybe, that was slim, but that is where most people got their information about applying makeup, wearing makeup, and like what makeup to buy, what the good makeup was, like, you know what I mean? Then, fast forward to the YouTube beauty popping on the scene, and then you had your regular average everyday people doing videos that were tutorials, so they were geared towards teaching people makeup, explaining different types of makeup products, giving you advice on makeup, things like that. And it was also like a parasocial situation on top of that. So it was really intriguing. It really drew people in, and it became a little community. But over time, the community did evolve. So because in actuality, really, there's only so many like tutorials that you can do, I guess, so to speak. And, you know, things of that nature. And the more that the community grew, the more people that were doing tutorials and things like that. And so there was a period of where that was the main focus of the YouTube beauty community, and that's what people wanted to see. So that was the type of content that people were putting out at that time. And so basically after everybody learned everything there was to know, like, you know, the basics or what have you, everybody learned the different types of makeup products and everything like that. Like before I started watching YouTube, I didn't even know what a bronzer was. I didn't even know highlighter was actual makeup product. I thought some people were just lucky enough to have nice glowy skin, and then some people weren't. Like, you know what I mean? So you just, you know, when you first watch YouTube beauty, you learn a lot of things. And then once you get the hang of it, or the gist, the basics down, I mean, watching YouTube videos isn't going to make you a professional, but I would say that, you know, if you're just new into makeup or something like that, there's things that you could learn or take away from YouTube videos that could be helpful for you. After that content was consumed to the max, everybody just kind of got what they needed from that. The shift in the beauty community changed to people being like, okay, you know, I know how to do this. Okay, I know what this is. I know what this does. I want more of this. I want to see, you know, more of that. I want to try out this. And so the beauty community shifted into basically heavy consumerism, where people were just wanting to really buy the makeup, see the makeup being bought and used and things of that nature. Because, hey, now that we know what bronzers and highlight are, you know, now we want to buy some bronzers and highlights, try them out, see what works. But maybe you don't have enough money to buy all of the bronzers and highlights that are on the market. So these YouTubers really helped with that, because, you know, they were buying all these bronzers and highlights, whatever, showing you how they worked, how they looked, etc. And that was a fun time. So when the desire for heavy consumerism exploded in the YouTube community, makeup market exploded as well. Brands really took into that, noticed that. And that's when they started working more closely with YouTubers. I mean, even way back in the day, YouTubers were getting sponsorships and PR, but I guess it probably wasn't to the extent that it was probably 5 to 7 years ago. Even now, I think YouTubers are probably getting more PR than the first, like, original OG YouTubers did, because people really wanted to see the makeup and see it being used and everything like that. And so for whatever reason, that also prompted brands to really mass produce makeup. I feel like that prompted them to be like, hey, these people really want makeup, they really want to buy the makeup, they're really into this stuff. Let's produce more, let's produce new, let's give them what they want, you know. You've seen more brands coming out with more makeup than they probably ever have. That was a big, you know, a big boom in not only the makeup industry, but also like the YouTube beauty community as well. And quite frankly, these days I think we're definitely falling away from the heavy consumerism. I think we've been falling away from it for a while. This is specifically to like YouTube beauty community. But I think with the pandemic, that really put the pedal to the metal on slowing down that consumerism and basically just using the makeup that we already have. I think people were already getting tired of the heavy consumerism, and on top of that, the average consumer can't financially keep up with the mass amount of products that are being produced and thrown out into the world. You know what I mean? We just can't do it. So when you're constantly seeing new makeup being released and new products being released, and you just can't keep up with that financially, or maybe all of it does not appeal to you, it starts to become overwhelming because you may find something that you like and that you want, and then you purchase that if you have the financial means to. But then 2 seconds later, 45 brands are coming out with something new, and the YouTuber or YouTubers that you've watched in the makeup industry as a whole have just moved on from what you were really interested in and just bought, and now it's like, okay, the hype and the pressure is wanting you to buy, you know, this other product over here. So I think people were just kind of getting overwhelmed and over that, and then the pandemic hit, and then most everybody had to stay at home 24/7 with little to no financial means or lower financial means than they had previously. And then it just became even more overwhelming to see beauty brands and YouTubers pushing out product and new product when nobody can really afford it and keep up with it because, you know, the world's at a standstill over a virus. That, and on top of that, where everybody was locked up at home for like a whole entire year, all you basically did was sat at home, and so people were also consuming more YouTube, more videos, and the more you just sit and watch videos, the more tired of it you're going to be. Like, you know how that goes. That's with everything. Hello? So basically that goes for anything, you know, if you're working all the time and you're busy and you just only have time out of your day to maybe watch 1 or 2 YouTube videos out of the sea of YouTube videos that are out there, then you're not going to get sick of it as easy. But if all you're doing is sitting all day long and watching nothing but YouTube videos, and you know you're subscribed to like 200 people and about 175 of those people are all making a video on this one particular new palette that's come out that you can't afford, you're gonna get tired of it super quick. You know what I mean? I'll use this blush right now for cheek products. I'm using the Benefit Cheek Stars Reunion Tour. I did use the Hoola out of here, but I don't want to use any of those blushes. So I think for blush, I'm going to use this Moira blush in the shade Mellow Pink. So as far as a YouTube beauty video consumer, I think things are shifting. I agree with Kelly. I think things are shifting. I don't think it's dying. So I think people are wanting to see different types of content. This is just a wild guess because I can't account for everyone. But I feel like more people are wanting to watch more videos beauty-wise that relates to, you know, the makeup that you own, using the makeup that you own, maybe decluttering your makeup, you know, going through it and not focusing on the new and spending your money on, you know, makeup that you're not going to be able to use. So a face mask usage is still prevalent in most areas. If it's not required, it's still heavily encouraged to use a face mask when you're out in public. And so, as you know, from wearing a face mask and trying to wear makeup, that just some products just don't go well with a mask. And then for a lot of individuals, especially ones who may still have to go out in the world to work and wear a mask, for a lot of individuals, some products just don't. It seems almost pointless to wear with a mask, like lip products, because it's going to be covered up most of the time. You know, videos that are geared towards lip products, people probably aren't really going to be that into because they're less likely to be wearing lip products these days. And then just makeup in general, where a lot of people now work from home. A lot of people probably aren't wearing as much makeup as a whole from a day-to-day basis because they're not even having to leave their house. I know I fit into that category. I try to make up as much as possible, but it's a lot easier to just go into work where I work from home in my pajamas and roll straight out of bed and go into work and not worry about any of that you would have to worry about if you went out into the public to work. So it does make sense that a lot of changes are wanting to be seen within the YouTube beauty community. So you see a lot more people saying, hey, like, I don't watch as much makeup videos as I used to. You know, I'm watching more of this, or I ventured out into watching these types of videos on YouTube, which is also understandable because, like I said, most of the world just spent like the last year in quarantine at home, and if you have TV or internet or anything like that, you've probably been consuming a lot of video screen time. And if you like makeup, then you probably did watch a ton of makeup. And you're probably, as a consumer, feeling burnt out with makeup content in general. So it would make sense that you would venture out into something else that interests you and getting your fill of that type of content. But most of these people, I don't think that they're going to just write off makeup content from their viewing interests forever or completely. I think that at some point in time they will probably come back to it, or maybe they just take in less makeup content. So I think when you see like bigger YouTubers and such making videos about the changes of the beauty community and stuff like that, I think what they're referring to is like their views, maybe even their subscriber numbers, maybe their engagement numbers, basically their numbers on YouTube, because for a lot of YouTubers, their numbers may indicate their financial situation. And so with less views and less subscribers and less click through, their financials are probably going down. And so initially that may indicate to a lot of people, even viewers, that may indicate, hey, the beauty community is dying. People don't like this stuff anymore. What do we do? What I do? And personally, I know nobody really cares about my opinion or whatever because I don't have a lot of people watching my videos or anything like that, but I think a good idea for YouTubers who may be in this situation that feel like they might be in a problem because maybe the YouTube beauty, what did I just say? The YouTube beauty community may be dying, is this. I think if you take a look at your viewers, their commentary, maybe even your view numbers, and be like, okay, these are the makeup videos that I'm doing that's getting the most views. So this is the type of makeup content I'll still be putting out. But I think that it would not hurt them if they ventured out into something else, even if it's temporary. I see a lot of people talking about they moved on from makeup videos to watching skincare videos. I've seen people talking about moving on from makeup videos to like lifestyle content, so like vlogs or food videos. So I mean, all content creators, even if their channels are mainly focused on makeup, are all human. They're all people. They all have lives. And so I feel like with the shift and the change of like consumerism and things, like with the pandemic, I think that there's so many other videos out there that these YouTubers can do that their audience would appreciate, even if it's a temporary change. And with change, it may even take some of their viewers some time to warm up to the idea of a different type of content from that creator. But I think that's the best thing that they can do right now until the YouTube beauty community has a handle on what type of content the viewers really want to see and any kind of new unique ideas for videos that people would be interested in watching. Oh, by the way, I'm about to try to do my eyeshadow. I'm using the Moira Garden of My Mind palette, so it looks like this. So for instance, I think videos in series such as like the Will I Buy It and like videos like large hauls where the YouTubers rank their new makeup and ranking new PR, just videos where they're focusing on new makeup and not really using it will be also making their way out. And then I just think that creators in general, whether they're large or small, I use the word large because the creators who are larger, who have bigger audiences, are going to be the ones who's able to really make a movement in the change in the content that people consume. Because somebody with 3 subscribers can have a really awesome, unique, like video idea that people would really like, but it's not going to reach anyone that would actually, like a large amount of people that would actually want to see it. It's going to be the larger YouTubers with the larger audiences, it's like, hey, what about this video idea? Would you all want to watch this? But this may be an unpopular, controversial opinion, but I also feel like larger YouTubers who, you know, make their living from YouTube or have a significant financial gain from YouTube are going to be the ones who will be scared to try new things and put their foot in another direction. Because I guess Kelly touched on this like very momentarily, briefly. Hello. I am like being summoned for dinner. This is like the third time I've gotten a phone call. Are you gonna come eat dinner? I'll be there in a minute. I am talking way too much, obviously. But I think she touched on this very, very briefly. And it's the fact that YouTubers, especially the larger YouTubers who are able to make income from doing YouTube, if they put out videos that are not, you know, as successful, don't get as many views, then obviously that hinders their financial situation and their videos don't get promoted as much if it's not, you know, if it's not like a super popular video that everybody gravitates towards instantly. So that's why like a lot of bigger YouTubers will tell you that they like to do tutorial type videos, or they want to do tutorial type videos, but that's not the main focus on what gets watched on YouTube for them. And I guess, like Kelly said, it could be because that there are years and years of tutorials out there from a decade ago that would pop up first if you were to search tutorials. So it doesn't really benefit them view-wise, financially-wise, I guess, to make unpopular videos or videos that's not really gaining them much traction, I guess. But like I said though, it's got to be the bigger YouTubers who put out the different types of content, the different types of makeup videos, because they're going to be the ones that's going to be able to reach the larger audiences to really determine, is this something that the YouTube beauty community wants to see or is it not? So somebody has to take one for the team, put their leg out there and be like, okay, this is what my audience keeps saying they want to see. These types of videos doesn't really perform well, or they haven't performed well for me in the past, but I'm going to put in an effort to periodically or consistently put out this type of content and gauge it over time. Because obviously if a YouTuber is just going to continue to put out content and their views are going down and everything like that, then your audience obviously does not want to watch that either. So if viewers' tastes have changed in makeup content that they want to see, then they're not just going to just be like, okay, well, no one's willing to put out the content we want to see, so we're just going to go ahead and watch what they put out anyway. I mean, you'll have an audience that will do that, long, hardcore stan fans, I guess. But in the long run, if people are not wanting to watch this type of content, but that's all that you put out, your views will dwindle anyway. So for me, I feel like it would be productive for a YouTuber, if they're going to be losing views anyway, to just put out the type of content that's new, that's interesting, that's more unique maybe to their channel, or more unique to maybe like the beauty community, and see how everyone responds to that. And I think that that's why, like how Smoky Glow was talking about YouTubers and burnout. I don't know that it's necessarily burnout. I just feel like ones that's been around for a while have gotten used to the type of content that they create, that their audience has always loved, but there's that shift now going in the beauty community that people are wanting to see different type of stuff, but they know from prior experience that those videos don't perform as well, and so they don't know what to do with that, whether they take the plunge and maybe take maybe take a hit to their views and possibly their financials, and put out content that didn't perform well in the past and may not be performing super well at this current moment. Or just continue to put out the type of content that they've always done and just watch their views dwindle. But obviously YouTube and everything caters to the viewer, not to the content creator. So just because the content creator wants to create haul videos because they really like buying makeup, that doesn't mean that YouTube is going to push their videos out there. The viewers are going to watch it or really want to watch it just because that's what the creator is putting out there. So my best advice is, if you are a creator, cater to your audience. Now is the time to cater to your audience. So if they've been asking you for a vlog, for a closet tour, or anything out of the ordinary that's a one-off for makeup, do it. If you've been getting a million requests for like a tutorial with an old eyeshadow palette or a discontinued eyeshadow palette, do it. Now is the time to do those types of videos because I really think they will go ahead and take off for you. Also, if you are still a consumer of YouTube makeup videos and you have YouTubers that you like, I would say now is the time to really push your requests, or continuing to push your requests for types of videos that maybe they didn't do in the past, or that they wouldn't do in the past, or what types of videos that wouldn't perform well for them in the past. Because I think sooner rather than later, YouTubers are going to kind of realize that they're going to need to shift their content, like I said, even if it's temporarily, to keep their views and their subscribers going. And so ultimately, my opinion is YouTube beauty community is shifting right now. There's a change in the type of content that people want to see, and there's going to have to be a change in the type of content that the creators put out in order for their channels to not go stagnant. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to have to cut this video off here. I see them out walking around waiting, trying to tap on the window. Like, come on, what are you doing? I know I'm not all the way done yet, but this looks so pretty anyway already, right? Anyway, hope you all have enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.